This is the New Eden update for Friday, February 26th, 2015. No, it's 2016. I'll get out of it sometime. I'm Wiggles, and here's a roundup of a few stories from around New Eden. As you can see from the video, Tranquility is down. As we went to go live, Tranquility has been taken down for a reboot and check of the database for a potential issue. More info will be posted on the forums, and no uptime is set at present. CCP Falcon was the one to give us this information. So we start today at thematani.com with a post about a 42 billion ISK brawl in Fade. Quote, on February 23rd in the Fade system of VRH-H7, Tissue, backed up by PH, NC and Exodus, engaged the Imperium over Sovereignty Timer in the area. The 42.4 billion ISK engagement began as Imperium forces jumped into VRH, where Tissue and friends were waiting. The Imperium, led by Asher Elias, fielded 209 pilots in their relatively new Mercurial doctrine. Tissue fought back with a massive Maelstrom fleet supported by 4 carriers, NC Sletnias and Exodus Cerebuses. I'm sure they should be Cerebuses? Yeah, Cerebuses. I'm reading it wrong. And Cormorants from Pandemic Horde for a total of 214 pilots. The Imperium won the strategic objective with the ISK war, losing 2 dreadnoughts, 8 battleships and several other ships for a total of 66 ships worth 15.4 billion ISK. Tissue and friends lost 151 ships, mostly from the former Maelstrom's carriers, and command ships for a total of 27 billion ISK. Link is in the show notes. Next we go over to Eve News 24 for a report about an engagement in CX7-70 in Cloud Ring. CX7-70 system in Cloud Ring region on the 24th of February at 2000 Eve Standard Time. Imperium forces again clashed with a loose coalition of alliances in the system over tower. The tower in question belonged to the Imperium forces and were reinforced by suddenly spaceships in order to provoke a fight. Though initially it seemed as they thought the Imperium was going to abandon the moon and the tower near the end of its invulnerability cycle, Imperium forces quickly gathered, however, forming an initial 100 pilot Mercurial battleship fleet. As the force moved towards the system, other entities responded as 3 hostile fleets formed in order to oppose the Imperium. A 94-pilot Northern Coalition Proteus strategic cruiser fleet, an estimated 50-pilot Joint Snuffed Out and Project Mayhem Cerberus heavy assault cruiser fleet, and similarly but smaller Suddenly Spaceships 26-pilot Cerberus fleet. Theraboy supplied a stealth bomber wing as well. All told, the battle lasted 30 minutes with time dilation not present first, though getting worse near the end, and reaching nearly 30% at one point. The system itself hosted less than 400 pilots at the peak of the fighting. Imperium forces suffered the brunt of the losses, 97 ships in total, 5 carriers and 45 battleships for 53.82 billion ISK. The Allied fleets lost 22 ships, including 10 dreadnoughts, 1 carrier and 1 strategic cruiser for a total of 42.43 billion ISK in damage. CCP Guard has posted the full list of the CSM-11 candidates and the summits minutes from the second summit in a dev blog. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole minutes or the candidates, but on Sunday, on This Week in New Eden, live on Eve Radio and also on Twitch, myself and Dirk McGurk will go through this and all the other news from this week. Some interesting things coming up. Lastly, today we have a post by CCP Falcon letting players know of the changes to the minimum operating system requirement for EVE Online. Quote, on June 30th, 2016, we will discontinue support for the old EVE launcher, which will also bring our Windows XP and Vista support to an end. Players still using Windows XP will be unable to launch the EVE client from the new EVE launcher. Microsoft ended the mainstream support for Windows XP 7 years ago, the 14th of April 2009, and extended support 2 years ago, April 8th, 2014. While we wanted to maintain support for Vista and XP as long as possible, it's now causing too great a burden on our development team. Although we are aware this change will affect 3.2% of our player base, we cannot continue to maintain the additional overhead supporting this platform causes. Sunsetting Windows XP support will simplify development and the complexity of our platform testing. This allows us to spend more time focusing on new features, such as providing a smoother and more enjoyable experience on our DirectX 11 client, plus puts us in a better position to end DirectX 9 support in the near future. The link in the show notes will have all the thread so you can give feedback and comments, which is always good. Elsewhere in e-related content, new blog posts are out today from Neville Smith and Wilhelm Arcturus. Nothing new again today on the podcast front. Plex prices in the Forge region are registering an average traded price of 1,187,000,000 ISK so far today, which is down from yesterday's closing average of 1,199,000,000. The top buy order in Jita right now is 1,184,000,000 and sell orders starting at 1,199,000,000. Skill extractors are trading at 279,000,000 ISK, down from yesterday's average of 281, and buy orders for those are starting at 273, sell orders are starting at 278. Injectors, on the other hand, are trading at 634,000,000 ISK average, down from yesterday at 637. Buying is starting at 627 for injectors, and selling is starting at 637. Thank you to the people who've chosen to support this show and TotalEve.com on Patreon and decided they get a little bit of value from the show and decided to give a little bit back. As always, you can go to patreon.com/wiggles to find out about how to support this show. Now, I do know not everyone can support monetarily, and I understand that. If you do have a free dollar that's spare in your PayPal account every month, I'm not going to say no to it because it helps run the servers and all this that we do. But you know what? The best way to do is let your friends and your court mates and your alliance mates know about the show. Tag three friends of yours on social media, on Twitter or on Facebook, Google+, Viber, Peach, Ello, Tweetfleet, Slack, whatever you want, and say, hey, check out the New Eden Update. It'll all help out. You can find all the ways to support the show at newedenupdate.com/support. As you can tell, this show is now broadcast live on Twitch and we upload it to YouTube afterwards while we're recording it for the podcast. So please, if you do have feedback, let us know how you think it is, as it is now a live one-shot show as opposed to pre-recorded perfect things. I like it better this way. What do you think? Let me know. This has been the New Eden Update for Friday, February 26th, 2016. Our email address is feedback@newedenupdate.com, and you can leave comments in the show blog at newedenupdate.com. You can send us a tweet if you're that way inclined at New Eden Update. I do also encourage you to check out our sister site at TotalEve.com, where you can find all the latest headlines from the big news sites, all the podcasts, all the blog posts from the bloggers, all the dev posts from the forums, all the CSM posts, all the Twitter from Tweetfleet. Everything is over on there, and some useful information as well. That site again, TotalEve.com. We'll be back on Monday. I'm Wiggles, and thank you for listening.